Creepy Battenberg.
Hello, my friends. We have all seen them in the movies. There is a full moon. A seemingly normal man turns into a snarling humanoid beast at the sight of it. Yes, tonight's story is about a werewolf. Or is it a simple case of mistaken identity? It's time for Scary True Tales episode 21. I live in a small ranching community in Arizona. The area has a very bloody history, including but not limited to blood rituals, blood sacrifices, countless murder, a few cases of mass slaughter, occasions of headless bodies being found, followed by unrelated bodiless heads being found several weeks later, and recently, catacombs were found full of skeletons and still decaying bodies. The legend I will be telling you about, however, is about a werewolf. If he really was a werewolf is up for debate. However, the man did live once, and the events that took place did happen. I was first told this story when I was a little kid. My aunt, through marriage, is related to one of the men involved, her something great-grandfather. From what I can tell, this story took place sometime around 1880, give or take a decade or two. Like I said before, the town I live in is small even now, so you can imagine how tiny it was back then. Well, several people in this small town had decided that this one man was a werewolf. Several of the men, including the sheriff at the time, got together and found the man and instantly decapitated him. His body was buried in an unmarked grave in the local cemetery. His head was taken by a small group of the men, including my aunt's relative, and buried somewhere secret. They feared that if the head and the body were brought together, the werewolf would be resurrected. To my knowledge, that is the end of the story, for them at least. The body of the werewolf is buried in a cemetery that is on top of a small hill. The hill is on the corner of an L-shaped dirt road. There are a few houses scattered here and there, but it is mostly open desert. The road leading west away from the cemetery has a small section that doesn't feel right to most people. Several people have confirmed that most nights, if they drive down the road, they feel as if they are being watched by some canine-type creature in the open area to the north of the dirt road. Several people have seen a set of glowing yellow eyes in their mind when sensing they are being watched. There is nothing paranormal about the glow, just the sort of glowing that you see when moonlight reflects off the eyes of certain animals. Several people have also had the feeling that if they stop the car, get out, close the door, and I must stress the fact that everyone who has told me this all specified closing the door, that something very bad would happen. Normally, when I talk to people about this, I first ask if they get a strange feeling on the road and have them to describe it to me if they do. Now, not everyone has had these experiences, but for those who have, their stories and details are always the same. After they tell me their experiences, I ask if they know about the story of the werewolf. It is rare for someone to say yes. A few years back, I was talking with a friend of mine who is, for lack of a better term, a medium. She can sense and see things most people can't, and she tends to know things she shouldn't. I was telling her about the story of the werewolf, and when I mentioned this decapitation, she interrupted me and told me they had made a mistake. They killed the wrong brother. I have told this story hundreds of times, but I have never mentioned to anyone that the decapitated man had a brother. Hello everyone, it's your Uncle Creepy here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Tonight's story was sent in by Celtic Cabot, who also is a fiction writer, and I will be doing some of Celtic stories in the near future, so stay posted. Until then, this is Creepy Battenberg bidding thee a good night.